Hello and welcome back. Dear learners, in this series we have been discussing about the Russian language, its origin, its nature and structure. We have also discussed about the Russian alphabet and its structure. In Russian alphabets, we have talked about the usage of consonants and vowels. We have also seen the usage of consonants vowels when they are pronounced independently or separately, as well as when they are combined together. We have seen the usage of personal pronouns, possessive pronouns and demonstrative pronouns. While discussing the structure of Russian language, as well as when we discussed about the usage of phonetics in Russian, we have seen that how the intonation and stress sign play a vital role in Russian. As you know, the stress sign, like in the case of such words like молоко, яблоко, pagoda, встреча, etc., play a vital role. We have seen that the intonations also play a vital role, especially when we make affirmative and negative sentences, as well as when we ask a question in Russian. It is entirely depending upon the speaker of the Russian how the intonation is being used. As a thumb rule, it will always rise at the end when it is being used in interrogative or with a question, like это ваш брат, это ваша мама, это ваш дом, это ваша комната, etc. These are the examples of intonations, especially when they are rising at the end, since it means they are questions, and accordingly we use them while answering. Да, это мой дом. Yes, this is my house. Here we have seen the usage of stress is on the, and then we have seen that there is a pause and a flat intonation. Это мой дом. And now, as a thumb rule, we also remember that in most of the cases the stress is always on the first vowel. We have also seen the usage of the intonation and stress signs play an integral role in sentences. Later on, we have discussed about the usage of что это and кто это as inanimate and animate objects are being discussed. Inanimate things and animate beings are being classified in Russian, and they are used with что and кто. Accordingly, we have used о чем and о ком. These о чем and о ком questions are indicated towards such things which are animate and beings which are animate. So, inanimate things and animate beings are being indicated with the help of о чем and о ком. О чем вы думаете? Я думаю о своем институте. Я думаю об университете. Я думаю об институте. Я думаю о брате. Я думаю о сестре. Here we have seen the usage of o, ab and abo. O is widely used when it is used with hard ending consonants. Such are the nouns which ends with hard consonants, or simply the nouns which are not starting with a vowel. Whenever a word or noun starts with a vowel like Universitet, Institute, Anton, Inna, we always use ob, and abo is only used when we use with abo mnie, when it is using with mnie. M and N are used to indicate that they are preceded with two consecutive consonants. We believe that it is very clear to you right now how and when to use о чем and о ком, as well as how these endings of nouns are changing in prepositional case. The usage of v and na depending upon the context as it translates in, at and on. There are universal rules like the names of towns, cities and countries to be used with v. That is why we have used in the previous sessions also with nouns such as в Лондоне, в Америке, в Delhi, в Москве, etc. Whereas, we have used na with на заводе, на фабрике, etc. So, accordingly, you can also use these prepositions in your own sentences and follow these fundamental rules which are being taught to you. Now, as we have been discussing about the usage of verbs of motion in the previous lesson, so far we have discussed the usage of ichi and khajij, yezjij and yekhaj. The ichi and yekhaj belongs to group 1 as these indicate a movement in single direction, whereas khajij and yezjij are being indicated with the help of multiple directions, since these verbs indicate to and fro and repetitive action. We have also discussed about the usage of these verbs along with the verbs of general nature like chitach, lubich, etc., and we have seen how they are being conjugated. We have also seen that how the verbs of motions are conjugated. We have also seen and discussed that how the verbs of motions ichi khajij, yekhaj and yezjij are used in the past tense form. As a thumb rule, we now know that we place L when it is masculine gender singular. When we use L plus R, it indicates a feminine gender, whereas we use L plus E to indicate plural. Like for case ichi, we have ya shol tishla, on shol anashla and anishli. You can also use ya shol, yashla, tishol, tishla depending upon the speaker. So, accordingly, you please use them in your own sentences and make new expressions. As in the case of yekhaj, khajij and yezjij also, we have yekhal, yekhala, yekhali, khajil, khajila, khajili and yezjil, yezjila and yezjili. You have a fair idea how and when to use these conjugated forms in your own expressions, but please remember that we always use the second group, that is khajij and yezjij, to indicate to and fro, repetitive or a movement which is in multiple directions. Каждое лето люди ездили в разных местах. So, accordingly, you can also use these expressions in your own sentences. Whenever каждое, иногда, часто are used, we use khajij and yezjij. Каждое лето мой брат ездит в деревню. These kind of expressions can also be used in your own style. Now, in this lessons, we will be discussing about verbs of motions, and we will be discussing about these verbs of motion, especially when they are used with prefixes. What do we understand by prefixes? In Russian, to indicate movement or direction, we use verbs of motions. It is known to you, but whenever we put u, pri, v, vi and the verb of motion, it totally indicates a different movement. For example, Можно войти. Here I am saying, may I come in please? Можно войти. Можно выйти. Here I am using можно выйти. Вы means to exit. That is why in Russian also we have vkhod and vykhod. It is a short form of vkhod means enter and vykhod means exit. These are the signs you will also find in Russia when you find these kind of signboards available in different places. Let us now go to the next section where we will talk about the usage of these prefixes with help of several sentences. Please pay attention to the usage of these prefixes. These prefixes are used with verbs of motions as va, vo, vi, pri and u. If you pay attention to the slide here, with the help of these pictures, we are telling you that va or vo means to enter. That is why arrow is entering the picture here, whereas vi is being represented in a style with an arrow which is going out, which means exit. Pre means to arrive and u means departure. These prefixes like v, we and pre and u are used widely with only verbs of motions. Yavashol komnatu, I entered the room. Преподаватель вышел is комнаты. The teacher exited the room. Мои родители приехали в Москву. My parents arrived on transport, of course, because we are using приехать in its past form. Вчера мои родители приехали в Москву. Yesterday my parents arrived at Moscow. And if you can use u, завтра они уедут, and tomorrow they will be departing, they will be going out. So, accordingly these were, we, pre and u to be used in our own expressions. Let us see with the help of a few more examples. The prefix pre with the verb motion ichin-kha-jich, it signifies the arrival, whereas the same verb with prefix u signifies movement in opposite direction or departure. Let us understand them with a few examples. Ученик уже пришел в школу. Student already came to the school. Here we have used ichi in the past form, plus we have used a prefix pre. Ученик пришел в школу. And here we have used it with уже, which means already. You can also make such kind of sentences with the help of this fundamental rule. Ученик уже пришел в школу. Преподаватель уже пришел в институт. Преподавательница уже пришла в университет. These kind of examples with the help of several nouns, whether it is ученик, student, преподаватель, преподавательница, you conjugate ichi in its past forms like ученик шел, пришел, студент пришел. Куда? В институт. Куда пришел студент? В школу, в университет, в библиотеку, etc. can be used according to the fundamental rules which you have learned in this lesson. Let us understand a few more examples where we will pay attention to the usage of these prefixes with verbs of motion. Уже поздно. Ученики ушли домой. It is already late. Students already left for home. So, они ушли домой. They have departed or they have left for home. You can also use уже поздно, мой друг ушел, уже поздно, моя сестра, она уже ушла. So, here with these examples, уже поздно, ученики ушли домой. You can also use уже поздно as an expressions, which means it is already late. Уже поздно, нам надо идти. It is already late, we need to leave. Пора идти, it is time to leave. So, these kind of expressions can also be used with prefixes. Мне надо уйти, мне надо уходить. So, these kinds of verbs of motions along with prefixes u, which means departure, or a movement which is return, can be used. Мне надо уйти домой, потому что это уже поздно. These kind of sentences can also be made while using several other words and expressions which you have learned in the previous lessons. And you can also use verbs of motions with the help of prepositions, plus you can also use them along with certain other expressions which we learned while discussing about them in the prepositional case. So, let us go to the next section now and understand the meaning of other prefixes which are used with verbs of motions and what are the expressions they indicate. The prefix "ver", sometimes "vo", in positions where the consonants appear together with verb of motion like "ichi" and "khajich" signifies inward movement, whereas the same verb with the prefix "vi" signifies outward or movement in opposite direction. Like if you remember that we have discussed about the usage of "va" and "vi", which indicates entry or exit in sentence like "Można waichi" or "Można wyjти", which means may I come in and may I go out. So, you can also use these prefixes "va" and "vi", like for example, for switch on the lights we use "vkluchich", svet, and for switch off the lights we use "vykljuchich", svet. Svet means light, as we use them in Russian. "Vkluchich ventilator". "Vkluchich ventilator" means to switch on the fan. "Vykljuchich conditioner", to switch off the conditioner means air conditioner. So, accordingly you can also use them in your own expressions while using several other nouns which are already taught to you and which you have used in your own expressions. Let us now go to several other examples, so that we can understand the usage of "va" and "vi" in more efficient manner. Please pay attention to the expressions. "Он долго стоял в коридоре, потом он вошел в аудиторию". Here we have used "вошел", which means he entered the auditorium. "Он долго стоял в коридоре, потом он вошел в аудиторию". Corridor has been used in prepositional case, в аудиторию has been used in the verbs of motion. "Он долго стоял в коридоре, потом он вошел в аудиторию". Here it is classic example of usage of prepositional case as well as the usage of verbs of motion with prefix. "Он долго стоял в коридоре, потом он вошел в аудиторию". For example, if we want to use it with a feminine gender noun, let us take "моя сестра". "Моя сестра долго стояла в коридоре, потом она вошла в аудиторию". Accordingly, you can also use them in plural. "Мои друзья долго стояли в коридоре, потом они вошли в аудиторию". So, these are some of the examples which you can use in your own expressions depending upon that you want to use singular or plural, a feminine gender noun or a masculine gender noun, so that with the help of these exercises you can enrich your own language. Let us go to the next section and understand the meaning of the usage of these prefixes in different setting. Please pay attention to the examples. "Мы сидели дома и разговаривали, потом вы вышли на улицу". "Мы сидели дома", we were sitting at home, и разговаривали, and talking. Потом мы вышли на улицу, and then we went outside on the street. Here we have used an expression "мы долго разговаривали", "мы долго сидели", потом мы вышли на улицу. Here, if you pay attention to the usage of verbs like CGH, it has again been changed into past forms, but in plural. That is why мы сидели дома и разговаривали. Here it indicates that we sat at home and talked, then we went out on the street. И мы вышли на улицу, and that is why улица, since it belongs to the feminine gender, changes into на улицу along with the usage of a preposition на, which means on or at. In this context it means on. We went on the street. So, you can also use such other expressions in your own style. For example, let us take a noun brat. Я и мой брат долго сидели дома. Мы разговаривали, думали, что надо делать. Потом мы решили, нам надо уйти на улицу. Here it has been totally changed. Here a different kind of construction in Russian has been made. Я и мой брат, I and my brother, долго сидели дома. We were sitting for long at home and then we decided, мы решили, решать to decide. In past form, мы решили, что надо делать, what to do. Потом мы ушли на улицу. So, these kind of expressions with the help of other nouns like моя сестра сидела дома, потом она решила, надо уйти домой. Друга. So, these kind of expressions can also be used. Моя сестра сидела дома, потом она решила, надо уйти на улицу. So, such kind of expressions with the help of other nouns of feminine gender, masculine gender can also be used along with the help of prefixes with verbs of motion in present form as well as in the past form, like we have just seen in this case. Please pay attention to the sentence once again and then we go to the next section. Мы сидели дома и разговаривали. Потом мы вышли на улицу. Here again let's understand the meaning of we. Мы вышли. So, мы вышли на улицу. We exited and on the street as it indicates through this sentence. Мы вышли на улицу. We went outside on the street. So, you can also use выйти and выйти in present forms as well as in the past forms, along with the usage of pre and u, which we have just learned in the previous lesson. Now, as we will be discussing more about the usage of these verbs, and it is important for us to understand how to conjugate these verbs of motions with prefixes. Please pay attention while I read it for you. The first verb we will conjugate is войти, which means to enter one time. Я войду, ты войдешь, она войдет, мы войдем, вы войдете and они войдут. Likewise, we have the next verb выйти, which means to go out one direction. Я выйду, ты выйдешь, она выйдет, мы выйдем, они выйдут, etc. These two verbs of motion with prefixes like войти and выйти are being conjugated, and here you can also use them together. Сначала мой друг вошел в комнату, потом он решил, ему надо выйти. First, my friend decided to come to the room, then he decided to leave. So, войти and выйти are being used. Много туристов приезжают в Индию. Many tourists come to India. Они приезжают в Индию посмотреть разные места. They come to India to see many places. Они вышли, они вошли. We have used them with the plural form они. Они вошли and они вышли. Они вошли в гостиницу. They entered the hotel. Они вышли с гостиницы. They exited from the hotel, as hotel is known as гостиница in Russian. You can also make certain other expressions and sentences by your own while using выйти and войти, as now it is understandable to you that v and v they indicate entry and exit one direction. So, we will be discussing more about the usage of v and v, pre and u as they indicate different movement along with the usage of verbs of motions. As now we have just understood how to conjugate these verbs of motion with prefixes, like in the case of Vaichi and Vichi. Ya Vaidu, Ti Vaidyosh, Onana Vaidyot, Mi Vaidyom and Ani Vaidut. Accordingly, Vichi, Ya Vidu, Ti Vidyosh, Onana Vidyot, Mi Vidyom, Ani Vidut. With this, we would like to conclude this section here, and we will be discussing more about the usage of prefixes with verbs of motions in the coming lesson. Thank you.